Do you believe in aliens? Wanting to get this view for a while. You see those crossings, those corridor-like strips? It's absolutely unnatural. It's not natural at all. And look at the base right there. Massive green insulation. Don't worry, we'll go and see that up close. I just want you to look at the terrain to see the different levels. I'm showing you all this week many different levels on the surface. I want you all to see that the moon is not flat. It looks flat from far, my friends, but even myself, I didn't know until zooming up on these photos. Well, we're getting already up close, but even closer. Just mesmerizing at the back here. You can see that construction, and I'm most fascinated with the planet Mercury. It's funny, I don't know why, and it is strictly coincidence. It's the only planet I've never looked up, and it's probably one of the closest, if not the closest. It is, I believe, and the lowest in our atmosphere, space atmosphere, in consideration to the other planets of the solar system, anyways. But make a long story short, George Marquis, it's the first time I'd seen a video of him, and now, well, of course, Technothanks, amazing videos of Mercury, like, wow. So it's this area and back here, I'll try to get the angle, that's striking to me, that we can see here too, like on Mercury, where you see all these stone-like, boulder-like objects intricately placed on the surface, whether they be structures, or most definitely are. But yeah, here another installation, very detailed. All this Sinus Iridum material, I call it, must have come from the same construction company. See these layers that they're putting there is how they made the mountains of Sinus Iridum, guys. And we're seeing it right here, these layers. They overlap them. They can build even downwards and overlap them. And I will show you a couple of areas that they are overlapped. Right, let's get to it. And as I pan down here, the structures in green, the structures or installation, because it's all one piece, it seems, it's all one color. Absolutely amazing on the surface, and look at all the different levels. It's just uncanny. Also, objects that are somewhat symmetrical and geometrical on the surface. Always those domes on the ledges. It's what you see most often on the moon. This is like the moon's trademark. You'll see a sphere that sort of looks like a UFO, and sort of looks like a rock, and sort of looks like a dome, right? It's either gray or blue or flashing white, so bright that you can't see the center. When you take the light away from that boulder-like object, and you'll see purple gems that are structures that are like a city on a massive boulder-like object, which in reality that boulder is many hundreds, if not thousands of kilometers wide. It's just amazing, the stature of the construction, the size, the massive proportions of how they're building on the moon. And you see these anomalies everywhere. It's just absolutely incredible. Here too, made to look natural. It's objects. Everything's down there and everything's placed, and all these installations are hidden. And don't tell me you can't see these levels going up and down. Guys, it's driving me nuts, all these geometrical shapes. You can see them very well. See them poking out there? There's a haze down here, the mist that you can't see in the center, but you can see all the tops of the symmetrical buildings and structures that are sticking out, whether they be machines or structures. They are nonetheless there. Look at the layers of this base down here. We're going to see that one in a couple minutes really close. So everything is an entire city and structures. It's just in bridges, corridors, etc. And we zoom out. I'm sorry. For me, it still looks like structures, but yeah, you can zoom out, it does look a lot less like structures, especially if you're not looking for them, right? But you do see very well, I'm hoping, on the video here, the green, the very light green that we are seeing here. But do you see inside, my friends, that there are structures in and around the green areas all over? They're very real. You see them coming out now? Are your eyes adapting? You're realizing that the green is an entire area of structures that you see right here? Look at them all. Look at them all coming out right in the photo. Here, here, here. Look up there. Look down there. See that path there? Look at that. This is all the construction. I know it sounds sort of plain and boring finding alien structures that just look like mountains, but hey, that's how they roll. I'm pretty sure. We're seeing it. We know for a fact that these are not natural. Even people that don't believe or have ever studied aliens, guys, honestly, as a race, as human race, we obviously know when we see a design that was made or not made, even though there's a little bit of fakery in it, if you want, or what can I call it, or a nature look to it, if you want, natural look to it. Over here, this entrance or mechanism, something, it's all things that come to your eye and you go, well, what could it be? Yet not natural. See, I'm sure if I could clarify this, and I will, and in here too, these lurking lights that you see in these holes, filled with structures everywhere here on the entire page. The west side of the moon, very interesting. Lots to see. Look at it. Nothing natural here. And don't you find it odd, like NASA? Make me believe NASA doesn't have at least a photo like this. At least people would have lasted 10 years looking at that photo. Right here in plain view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's all these structures popping right off the surface, and in groups of 5 and 10, guys, these structures are popping up. I'm pretty sure if NASA posted a picture and said, this is possibly a structure, there would be 7 billion people looking at that video, sharing it, talking in every language, in every news media station, every country. Books will be written about it. And why? Because of the name, for some reason. Beautiful surface of the moon. It's a view of the moon that I want everyone to see and to know that the moon is not just a gray surface. Far from it. We'll go see these structures a bit closer. Green structures again, like that last color. We have white structures in particularly, and green structures that I've seen on the moon, and dark black structures. I've even seen a few brown ones.